Most people think old-style guns are boring. They are wrong. Smart people are now looking for special revolvers. These guns are like pieces of art. They work better than new guns and become worth more money every year. They are very hard to find once someone buys them. Here are 10 special revolvers that smart owners will never sell. Number 10. Chiapa Rhino. The Chiapa Rhino looks nothing like a normal revolver. That is because it was designed differently from the ground up. Instead of the barrel sitting on top of the cylinder like most revolvers, the Rhino fires from the bottom chamber. That one change completely alters how the gun behaves. Because the barrel sits lower, recoil pushes straight back into the shooter's hand instead of flipping the muzzle upward. The result is simple: less muzzle rise, better control, faster follow-up shots. Chiapa manufactures the Rhino in Italy, and the revolver required a full redesign of the traditional revolver layout. This was not a cosmetic idea or a marketing trick. The internal system had to be engineered differently so the lower barrel could function safely and reliably. The benefit shows up immediately when the gun is fired. Shooters often notice that the Rhino feels softer than most revolvers of the same caliber. The lower bore axis keeps the gun flatter during recoil, which helps the sights return to the target faster. That makes rapid shooting easier and more controlled. Because of that performance advantage, the Rhino quickly gained respect at the range. Competitive shooters like the faster sight recovery. Defensive shooters appreciate the control. Even hunters value the reduced recoil when trying to place accurate shots. Another reason the Rhino stays valuable is simple. There is nothing else like it. No other revolver uses this bottom barrel system. That makes the gun both a practical shooter and a conversation piece every time it comes out at the range. Demand stays strong because the design stands out and the performance backs it up. Used Rhino revolvers in 9mm or .357 Magnum usually sell between $800 and $1,000. That is more than 80% of their original price. It is rare, innovative, and genuinely different. That combination keeps owners from letting it go. Number 9. Kimber K6. The Kimber K6S solved a problem that revolver makers struggled with for decades. Most small revolvers carry 5 rounds. Kimber managed to fit 6 rounds of .357 Magnum into a frame the same size as those 5-shot guns. That extra round may not sound like much, but in a defensive revolver it matters. The achievement required careful engineering and precise manufacturing. Kimber redesigned the frame so it could handle the pressure of 6.357 Magnum rounds without making the revolver bulky or heavy. The result is a compact revolver that still delivers full power. The K6S weighs about 23 ounces, which makes it light enough for daily concealed carry. At the same time, the frame remains strong enough to handle powerful loads without sacrificing durability. That balance between strength and weight is one of the reasons the revolver stands out. For concealed carry users, the K6S checks several important boxes. It offers strong stopping power, 6-shot capacity, and a size that is comfortable to carry all day. Many shooters who normally carry semi-automatic pistols have switched to the K6S because of its simplicity and reliability. Build quality is another reason owners keep these revolvers. The action feels smooth, and the trigger pull is clean and consistent. The stainless steel frame gives the revolver a solid feel that many shooters appreciate. With regular use, the action often becomes even smoother over time. Reliability also plays a big role in the K6S reputation. Owners frequently report firing thousands of rounds without mechanical problems. That level of dependability builds trust, especially for people who carry the revolver for personal protection. Because of its performance and quality, the K6S rarely appears on the used market. Most owners keep them. When one does show up, prices usually stay between $600 and $800. Demand remains strong because new shooters continue searching for compact revolvers that combine power, capacity, and reliability in one package. Number 8. Colt Single Action Army. The Colt Single Action Army is more than a revolver. It is one of the most famous handguns ever made. First introduced in 1873, the SAA earned the nickname Peacemaker during the American frontier era. That history still defines the gun today. What makes the SAA special is its direct link to the past. The basic design has remained almost unchanged for more than 150 years. Colt kept the same single-action system, the same classic frame, and the same timeless look. When someone holds a Colt SAA, they are holding a design that shaped the early days of American firearms. Collectors especially value the revolvers made during the second generation of production from 1955 to 1975. These models helped revive the Peacemaker after Colt restarted manufacturing. Today, they are considered an important bridge between the original frontier guns and modern production models. Because of that history, the Colt SAA holds strong value in the collector market. Condition, year of production, and serial number range all play a role in pricing. Well-preserved examples are carefully graded by collectors and firearms publications, which helps maintain clear market value. New production Colt SAAs often sell between $2,500 and $3,500, depending on finish and configuration. Used examples in good condition usually keep around 75 to 85% of that price. Older pre-war revolvers can reach $5,000 or more, especially if they remain in excellent condition. The shooting experience also adds to the revolver's appeal. The SAA is a true single-action design. The hammer must be manually cocked before every shot. That process slows the shooter down and demands focus, making each shot deliberate. Owners often keep these revolvers for life. Some pass them down through generations as family heirlooms. Between its history, craftsmanship, and collector value, the Colt Single Action Army remains one of the most respected revolvers ever produced. Number 7. Freedom Arms 83. Freedom Arms revolvers are hand-built to order in Wyoming. That means waiting lists. That means each gun is essentially custom manufactured for the specific buyer. The 83 model is the company's signature single-action revolver that represents mechanical perfection without compromise. The hand-fitting process is documented manufacturing. Every component receives individual fitting attention. Gunsmiths hand sand critical surfaces. Trigger systems are tuned through manual testing. That labor-intensive approach means Freedom Arms cannot increase production without sacrificing quality. The company has publicly stated production capacity limits ensure waiting lists remain perpetual. Hand-built manufacturing means attention to detail that factory lines cannot achieve. Every component is fitted precisely. Every surface is finished meticulously. The action is tuned by craftspeople, not machines. Owners report that Freedom Arms revolvers feel like mechanical art pieces. The engineering precision is obvious the moment you hold one. That craftsmanship creates emotional bonds that factory revolvers never achieve. The bank vault lockup is legendary. Freedom Arms took single-action design to its absolute mechanical limit. The cylinder closes with absolute authority. There is no play, no wobble, no imprecision. Shooters describe the experience as holding a mechanical guarantee. That solidity inspires confidence that modern production cannot match. Owners recognize they have something genuinely special and irreplaceable. Waiting list mechanics create permanent secondary market constraints. New Freedom Arms. 83 guns feature 12 to 18-month waiting periods from order to delivery. That production delay ensures used examples command premium pricing. The used market price regularly approaches or exceeds new MSRP because waiting time creates artificial scarcity. Used Freedom Arms examples are virtually impossible to find. That's because waiting lists for new guns mean every owner is actively using theirs or keeping it as a collection centerpiece. Resale value holds at $2,500 to $3,200 minimum. The used market is so tight that pricing is essentially whatever the owner requests, and buyers accept it because alternatives require 2-year wait times. This is where scarcity creates artificial appreciation that reflects genuine market conditions. Number 6. Mateba Unica 6. The Mateba Unica 6 looks like science fiction. It functions like mechanical perfection. This Italian semi-automatic revolver is out of production and legendary. Prices have climbed into 5-figure territory for rare caliber examples. This is investment-grade mechanical art that institutional collectors actively acquire. Mateba manufactured the Unica 6 in Italy using machining standards that exceeded contemporary standards. The Italian heritage of precision metalworking transfers through every component. Production ceased, creating permanent scarcity that drives collector demand upward relentlessly. The Unica 6 features semi-automatic operation combined with revolver reliability. That hybrid design was decades ahead of its time. The gun feeds, fires, and ejects automatically while maintaining revolver simplicity. That innovation created a gun that no modern designer has successfully copied. The mechanical achievement is obvious to anyone holding one. Shooters describe the experience as revolutionary in gun design terms. Out-of-production status means supply is finite and shrinking. Each year, fewer examples exist as owners refuse to part with them. Auctions document Unica 6 prices climbing toward $10,000 for pristine examples in desirable calibers like .357 Magnum. Collectors actively hunt them. Museums display them as mechanical examples of innovation. That institutional interest drives prices higher annually, without exception. Museum acquisition creates institutional recognition. The Smithsonian's Firearms collection features Unica 6 examples as mechanical innovation representatives. That museum placement validates the gun's engineering significance beyond collector interest. When institutions officially document a firearm's historical importance, collector prices respond accordingly. Owners recognize they have an appreciating asset wrapped in mechanical genius. This is acquisition for serious collectors, not casual shooters. But that collectability is precisely why smart owners refuse to sell. They recognize that missing one becomes irreplaceable and exponentially expensive in 2 years. The gun represents mechanical innovation that companies have abandoned because the market proved unwilling to invest in perfection at production scale. Number 5. Colt Mongoose. Colt revolvers are manufactured in Germany to standards that exceed most military weapons. The Mongoose is their signature double-action revolver that represents mechanical perfection. Precision manufacturing creates firearms that operate like Swiss watches built from steel. German manufacturing heritage means engineering traditions dating back centuries. Colt applies those standards to firearm production with exactitude that rejects modern production shortcuts. Every component receives individual quality verification. The assembly process is documented and repeatable to exact specifications. That Germanic precision transfers through every Mongoose revolver. The Mongoose features roller-bearing trigger systems that create silky action without equal. Shooters describe the trigger as operating without mechanical friction. That engineering requires hand-fitting and precision beyond factory capabilities. Every Colt Mongoose is essentially a custom gun manufactured to exact specifications that demand individual gunsmith attention. That craftsmanship commands premium pricing and permanent demand. Hand-fitting requirements mean Colt cannot scale production without compromising quality. The company maintains 8 to 12-month waiting lists from order to delivery. That production limitation ensures every owner understands the rarity before purchase. New buyers accept used pricing because waiting for new production typically exceeds 2 years with no guarantee. German manufacturing institutions have validated Colt quality through institutional procurement. Law enforcement agencies select Colt revolvers for duty use. That validation from professional shooters reinforces collector confidence. When institutions choose precision manufactured products, civilian demand follows. Pricing varies by barrel length and DLC finish options, but mongoose examples typically hold $3,200 to $4,500 in secondary markets. The used inventory is minimal because everyone who owns one keeps it as a crown jewel. That scarcity ensures pricing stability and appreciation regardless of broader market conditions. German engineering combined with limited production creates permanent value foundations. Number 4. Manurhin MR73. The Manurhin MR73 is the revolver used by French Special Forces, federal police, and elite law enforcement worldwide. That institutional adoption is the foundation of its legendary reputation. This is a gun built to survive active duty and combat conditions while maintaining mechanical precision across decades of deployment. French military procurement standards demand reliability under extreme conditions. The MR73 meets those standards completely, which is why it remains the standard issue for elite units that demand perfection. Military adoption creates institutional validation that transcends civilian marketing. When professional soldiers choose a weapon, civilians recognize they're getting institutional endorsement. Cold hammer-forged barrels create durability that standard manufacturing cannot achieve. The manufacturing process compresses the steel, creating superior wear resistance and longevity. That process requirement limits production to facilities equipped for precision work. Combined with French engineering standards, the MR73 represents mechanical reliability at its peak. Shooters report that MR73 revolvers deliver accuracy and durability that outlast owners. Deployment documentation from French military units confirms zero mechanical failures across thousands of rounds in field conditions. That combat performance validation is documented in institutional records. When military units publish maintenance reports showing zero mechanical failures over decades, collectors understand the engineering reality. Number 3. Smith & Wesson Model 29. The Smith & Wesson Model 29 became legendary through film and reputation. The Dirty Harry factor created demand that transcended the gun's actual capabilities, but the reality is that the Model 29 deserves its reputation. This is a genuine big-bore revolver that delivers power and reliability simultaneously. The cultural phenomenon is documented marketing history. Clint Eastwood's iconic revolver role created unprecedented civilian demand for the Model 29 platform. Sales data from S&W shows a 300% plus demand increase following film release. That cultural impact created a buying psychology that persists 5 decades later. Collectors recognize the Model 29 as the gun that changed public perception of revolvers. The N-frame platform is the foundation of S&W's most serious revolvers. The Model 29 in .44 Magnum represents raw power in mechanical form. Pre-lock models without internal safety mechanisms fetch 20 to 30% premiums because shooters recognize the mechanical superiority of the original design. That premium structure reflects informed collector understanding of mechanical advantages. Modern Model 29 examples hold $800 to $1,200 resale value. That's 75% plus of the retail price. Vintage pre-lock models exceed $1,500 regularly. Collectors hunt them actively. Shooters keep them. Number 2. Ruger GP100. The Ruger GP100 has a reputation for one simple reason. It is incredibly tough. Many shooters consider it one of the most durable revolvers ever built. The design focuses on strength, reliability, and long service life. Ruger approached the GP100 differently from many traditional revolvers. Instead of using a removable side plate like older designs, Ruger built the frame as a solid piece. This eliminates a common weak point found in many revolvers. Fewer removable parts also means fewer places where wear or mechanical problems can develop. The revolver also uses a peg-style grip system rather than traditional grip panels attached to the frame. This design helps absorb recoil while keeping the internal frame structure strong and simple. Ruger focused on engineering that reduced complexity while increasing durability. Because of this strong construction, the GP100 is known for handling heavy use. Many owners shoot thousands of rounds through these revolvers without noticeable wear. The platform is especially popular among shooters who regularly fire powerful .357 Magnum ammunition, which can be hard on lighter revolvers. Another reason the GP100 stands out is its reputation for long-term reliability. Owners often keep these revolvers for decades. Number 1. Colt Python. The Colt Python is often called the king of revolvers. For decades, it has been the standard that other revolvers are compared against. Known for its smooth action, strong accuracy, and striking design, the Python built a reputation that few handguns have ever matched. One reason for that reputation was Colt's original manufacturing process. Early Pythons were built with a large amount of hand fitting and finishing. Skilled workers carefully tuned the internal parts to create the revolver's famously smooth trigger pull. That level of craftsmanship made the Python expensive to produce, but it also created one of the finest revolvers ever made. The revolver's appearance also became iconic. The full underlug barrel and ventilated rib along the top give the Python its distinctive look. Combined with Colt's deep, polished finishes, the revolver quickly became one of the most recognizable handguns in the world. Original Pythons built before 2005 are especially valuable today. Many of those revolvers now sell for more than $4,000, depending on condition and configuration. Collector interest continues to grow because these models represent the classic era of Colt revolver production. Colt eventually stopped producing the Python because the labor-intensive manufacturing process made it difficult to build in large numbers. However, demand never disappeared. Shooters and collectors continued searching for the revolver long after production ended. Because of that demand, Colt reintroduced the Python with modern manufacturing methods. New production models typically sell between $1,400 and $2,800 depending on finish and barrel length. Even with the restart, demand still remains extremely strong. Collectors value the Python for its history and craftsmanship. Shooters appreciate its balance, accuracy, and smooth trigger. As a result, many owners keep them for years rather than selling them. Between its legacy, design, and lasting reputation, the Colt Python remains one of the most respected revolvers ever built. Conclusion. These 10 revolvers represent something missing from modern firearms: mechanical perfection combined with genuine craftsmanship. They're not easy to obtain, they're not cheap, but smart owners recognize that purchasing them is investing in mechanical excellence that appreciates, not depreciates.